So what's happening, everybody? It's pretty early in the morning, but I was just going through my news feed on my AOL account. AOL? What are you talking about, AOL? That's old school. Yes, I have an AOL account, so who cares? But anyways, so I was going through my AOL feed and I was looking through what was going on in the news, and I saw that the riots in Portland have been turned into the apocalypse. But what has made things even worse is I just saw in the news today, right here, as based on MSNBC.com, other news source, man shot dead in Portland as protesters clashed with counter protesters. Officers found the victim with a gunshot wound to the chest, the Portland Police Bureau said in a statement. Now, a man was shot dead in downtown Portland, Oregon on Saturday night as protesters of Donald Trump and Black Lives Matter protesters clashed. Let's see. Said in a statement the shooting took place at 8:46 p.m. and that officers nearby heard the gunfire. Let's see. It is unclear if the shooting was connected to the protests. Let's see. Well, it sounds like it pretty much does. The victim turned, took a few steps, then fell face down, said Dunlap 44, adding that the two people facing him ran from the scene. Guys, this is a touchy subject for me to talk about, but I personally think that what we're seeing now with all these protests or whatever going on is degeneration of our society. You know, we have come to a point in which we're just not really getting along with each other. We are so divided and so torn apart that we are not choosing to really come together and discuss things in a civilized manner anymore. We have this left and right, conservative, liberal, Democrats, Republicans, black and white, and whatever. And it's just like we have been conditioned to be so divided that it's led to events like this. And it just only seems to be getting worse and worse. For me personally, this is why I don't join up with groups. I don't belong to anything, okay? The only group, the only ideology, the only thing that I subscribe to whatsoever is me, myself, and I. I don't care to join up with anything, okay? Because oftentimes when I see groups or whatever, I often see that they have ideals and ways of thinking and activities that I just don't like and I don't care to participate in whatsoever. Like, say, for example, I'm gonna be very real and very raw about Black Lives Matter, about being fair. I understand that we have an issue in this country in which there are black men that are innocent black men that are shot and killed by the police. You know, but that's ignoring an even bigger issue that I've seen is that more black men are dying from killing one another than being killed by the police. Okay? As I come to find out, the incidences of black people getting killed by racist white people or even the cops is far more rare than black men dying from killing each other out in the streets every single day. All right? I mean, look at what's going on in Chicago. Look at what's going on in Detroit, Baltimore, New Orleans, Atlanta, or LA or Oakland, and all these places. You got a lot of these young black men who are dying from killing each other out in the streets every single day. But Black Lives Matter doesn't want to talk about it. That's why I don't support them. I understand that we have an issue with police officers killing black men, but they don't want to talk about how black men are killing each other. That's why I don't care to support them. That's another example of why I don't care to join up with any group. I think for myself and I create my own ideas and points of view based on my own research. So, but the other thing is that, with Donald Trump, see, here's the thing. Donald Trump, I mean, I wouldn't say I necessarily really like him or I really don't, or I really just dislike him. I just think that, Donald Trump is basically another example of how within the past, like 25, 30 years or so, the United States has basically elected the next president because we got really upset with the previous one. Why did people vote for Donald Trump? Because people were really upset with what Barack Obama did when he was in office. And why did people vote for Barack Obama? Because people were upset with what George Bush did when he was in office. Why did people vote for George Bush? Because people were really upset with what Bill Clinton did when he was in office. And it's like, when are we going to realize that this two-party system that we have in is not really working for us anymore? When are we going to realize that maybe we should go ahead and consider independent or third party or libertarian? Like for me, I am not a liberal, strongly liberal or strongly conservative, but I'm more in between, which I think that would consider myself to be a libertarian, even though I admit I'm more on the little conservative side because I believe in hard work and I believe in being self-reliant, you know, and I believe in some more traditional values in life. As far as I'm thinking that if I do get married, I want to see about finding a woman who understands and supports me as a man. She would let me lead the way. She would be there to, take care of the home and the kids. But even though that's not the case nowadays, that's just where my standing is. But I have some liberal ideas too. Like I believe in, gays should get married. I believe in the legalization of marijuana, as you guys already seen in my videos, in which I smoke weed in my videos, and other ideas like that. But I am not strictly on both sides. I'm not strictly on one side. I'm not on white or black or any of that other stuff. I believe in just getting along with everyone as individuals. Okay? Within any group, you're going to find people who they are as individuals. They're more true to themselves and expressing who they are. But like I said before, in my very first video from George Carlin's quote is that as soon as people clump and clot, they change in order to try to fit in. And oftentimes their demeanor and their humanity and everything else changes along that too, as we are seeing with these protests that are going on. See, I think about it like this. People are joining up in groups because they want to feel validated, because they want to feel as though they belong to something and makes them feel whole. But I don't believe in that stuff. I believe that you need to be able to go ahead and learn to validate yourself from within. You shouldn't live your life to impress other people or try to fit in. You don't you need to be able to work on yourself and creating your own individual unique personality and ideals just so you won't get caught up in all this stupid bullshit that's out there in the world. That like the protests going on in Portland, all these other places, it's just a bunch of stupid bullshit. You guys are not going ahead and really standing for anything anymore. You guys are just causing a lot of ruckus and mayhem just for the hell of it, you know? And for me personally, if you guys with Donald Trump going ahead and bringing the feds on over, I think honestly in a way that was necessary because in a lot of these cities where the protests are going on, the mayors and the public officials aren't doing anything. They're they're too pussified to go ahead and really put their foot down with these protesters. And so Donald Trump had to bring the feds on over in order to lay things down with them, saying, no. Just like when you have a young out of control kid and the father said, I'm not putting up with this. You need to stop. So I think in a way it was necessary to go ahead and bring in the feds in order to quell the whole situation. Because I mean, look at what's going on. It's like I think I read in an article a few weeks ago that there was like $23 million worth of damages to public property and businesses in Portland, Oregon. And it's like the mayor's not doing anything about it because honestly, he's just a pussy. He's just letting it all happen. And then he didn't said anything until until the protesters tried to burn down that building, and it could have possibly caused people to die. And he said, "You guys are committing murder within the safety of his own home." He's a wimp. He's a pussy. You know, and so that's what I'm seeing is going on is that we have become so divisive and so way too caught up in our feelings of anger and rage and hate for one another that we're not getting along with each other. We see it every day on the news. People of different political ideals or social opinions, and we don't have civilized discussions on those platforms anymore. We just go ahead and we want the loudest person who talks over the other person the most. We think that is the one who's really winning the conversation. But that's not how it's. I think I read in this one quote by this book I read is that a discussion is an exchange of knowledge, whereas an argument is an exchange of ignorance. And that's what I'm seeing nowadays in popular American culture. We are not discussing anymore. We are arguing and shows ignorant and uncivilized behavior. So, guys, don't be like that. If we are more so like this, it's going to cause more so of the decline of our society. Just my thoughts. Anyways, if you like what I have to say, of course, like, share, and subscribe. And if you have anything to say in the comments or whatever, I'm welcome for you to express your opinions too. I mean, if you have different opinions than mine, then whatever. I don't take things personally. I have my own ideas. They might not be the same with everybody, but I don't. But I don't get caught up in my feelings about the whole situation. I'm just choosing to live my life. Anyways, peace out, everybody. Stay safe and stay sane. Bye.